Well, all right, oh boy. Started off great. All right, guys, here we go. We are here with this cool little plane that had some issues, and as you guys remember, I'm trying to fix this as best as we can. It's an Ishin RC jet, and a lot of people are going to be snarky about it because it says there's no jet engine or anything in there. It's just a prop, but that's why it's a beginner-friendly thing. It's also not likely to damage your house or your garage or whatever. If you slam into things, if you fly it around smaller quarters, it'll be okay. It'll be okay. Anyway, these are the batteries that come with cute little jets, and we're going to try to figure out how to get this to repair it, because in the beginning, when I first flew it, it had a battery bay here. And the battery bay allowed it to somehow store the battery in there. But now that this is completely beaten up and broken, as you can see there, we're going to have to find some other way to store the battery in there. Because it'll probably be like an elastic band going around there or something to hold this in place. Or we could eventually 3D print something if I can get enough people to work with me on stuff like that. But anyway, that'll just show you the basics of what's going on here. Let's see if we can first of all use a glue gun that I recently bought to repair some of this. Got the glue, got the gun. And now let's see if this will even work. Problem with this, obviously, is that I don't want to just destroy the whole thing. And you want the glue to go in and then sort of have enough of it to hold things in place without it looking horrible later on. And I'm trying to do this without wrecking the whole thing. So I put some of that in there. And hopefully when we press it together, it'll stay in place. I don't know if I've never done this with this kind of glue. I usually use super glue for these kind of applications. So I don't know if this is going to work, but if it does, that'd be great. That would be pretty great. And maybe it has worked. And then we'll just have to use our hands to get that out of the way. Yeah. Good as new, I think. We'll have to fly it, and then I'll let you know if it is good as new or not. Let's see. Well, doesn't look great because I used that. Usually when I use the super glue, it goes into the cracks better. But it seems sturdy enough, so it should fly. It should fly. Can't guarantee it until I try it, but it should fly. And now, we might as well put on some landing gear, because this thing without landing gear is not the best. And I do have some landing gear here from Hobby Zone. It is not specific to this plane. So it's hit and miss, but I have a good feeling that the G-ling in the ceiling is going to help us out here a little bit. If I can get this out of the package, can I? There's something about doing demos, right? When you do a demo, all this stuff happens that you don't expect to happen. Anyway, here we go. We do have 3 of these things, and this one is probably the one that's most likely to work in this situation. We just put it in like this. And then once it's in, maybe I'll glue it into place. We'll see. Now, this could be pretty cool like this. Look. It could be cool. It might be cool. you'd want it to sit there so that if it lands hard on something, but you don't want it to jiggle. Jiggle is bad. You want it to stay in place as is, like that. All right, let's try this. Let's glue it into place, because that's the only other thing that we could do at this point. At this point in time, we can attempt to glue it in place. And maybe it'll be a nice thing. Looks like while I was messing with it, it opened up a little bit on the side there. Let's see, this should work out. It should work out. Had this really nice guy, this nice friend in college or university, and he would joke about stuff like saying, "Don't make me come over there and make it work," because he could fix stuff really well, especially with coding. I was horrible at coding, and he was great at coding. And he would come over and help me fix my code. Anyway, don't make me come over there and fix it. Hopefully it'll stay in place. I think it should be okay. Of course, because there's no battery in the front, this thing has no weight in the front. It's very rear heavy, if you will. Let's turn on the remote here. I do not remember how that works. I think it's this button here. There should be batteries in here. Yes, there are. And they should not be depleted. So, all right. Put this on, and then if the thing turns on, we should be golden to some extent. Maybe we won't need a battery bay, it'll just stay in place. Let's see, how does that do? I'll tell you, this, for some reason, seems to have no battery, so we'll get batteries for that. And we'll test it out again. I wonder if I was not very smart and I left the batteries on, which would eventually deplete the battery, obviously. So that's strange. But we'll figure that out. We'll figure that out. Maybe I have some batteries somewhere. And we'll get that to work. But okay, now that the battery is in the front, looks like the weight is going to be okay. And this is probably going to be okay as a front tire. So we can take this as field and test it out at some point. But the fact that I don't have batteries to show, that's kind of a problem. All right. I didn't want to leave you guys hanging with not knowing if this would go back to working conditions, so I ran off to the other room to get some batteries, because I'll put some of my favorite batteries in here. I don't know what happened with this, clearly. These Christmas ones from Hobby Zone seems to have died. I don't usually leave the remote on, so they probably just died of, I don't know. Let's see. See? There you go. You put some decent batteries in, and looks like the bird is ready to go. fantastic. So it will, yeah, look at that. Okay, so we're ready to go, and hopefully we'll be able to take this to the field. And looks like it's fixed. It's fixed, and I think that this being very light should be just as good as the original, that one that came with it, and the flight characteristics should be similar, if not better. Anyway, there we go. And if you really need, you know, you can put an elastic band over this to stop the battery from coming out. But it looks like, because of how this is set up with the limited space there, the wires keep this in place just fine. So unless you hit it against something, it should stay in place. Anyway, thanks for watching, guys. Thanks for being here during this live, and I'll see you all in the next one. Have a fantastic day.